With the Phantom Zone emptied and Superman's greatest weapon stolen, how will our heroes manage to push back the superpowered horde? Well, let's hop into the pages of Action Comics issue number 1079 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue had left off, Superman had managed to save the sun from Aether's tampering, but in doing so, he had inadvertently opened a portal that allowed all of the Phantom Zone's many Kryptonian inmates not only to escape, but to be imbued with amazing power from Earth's yellow sun. Now they're rampaging across the Earth, toppling governments and causing untold amounts of death and destruction. Luckily for Earth, the super family is bigger than it's ever been, meaning that all of the different members are able to mobilize across the Earth to try and deal with the threat. The big problem, though, is that Superman himself has been nowhere to be found for the last 2 days, and in short order, we learn why that is. It seems that after nearly getting beaten to death by a bunch of the escaped inmates, Clark was spirited away by his friends and Mon-El, who put him in his classic black and silver healing suit before taking him to a lead mine in India to recover. How the hell is Mon-El here without dying of poison, you might be wondering? Well, it seems that he pondered Aether's orb just long enough to make it work for himself. Now he's basically existing in 2 different realms. And hey, because Mark Waid is also writing the brand new Justice League Unlimited, we're also sure to tie this story in with the brand new organization growing its ranks as we see a ton of different superheroes dealing with the rogue Kryptonians in unique ways, especially the magical heroes like Dr. Fate and Zatanna, who end up coming in really clutch in this situation. Because, hey, magic is one of the few things that can actually hurt Superman, so it only makes sense that magic hurts these rogue Kryptonians too. The only problem is they don't have near enough magic heroes to deal with this threat. Now that Superman is all healed up, he's ready to rejoin the fight, and he thinks he knows exactly what they need to end this threat, and quick, his special ace in the hole that we first saw all the way back when this weekly series began. Of course, I'm talking about Superman's special reserve of golden Kryptonite. Kryptonite's so powerful that it only needs to be used once to completely rob a Kryptonian of all of their innate superpowers. There's just one big massive glaring problem, and that is when Superman and Mon-El go looking for the golden Kryptonite, they can't find it, meaning that one of these rogue Kryptonian inmates has already stolen it, meaning that Superman needs to be extra careful in helping round up the others, as there's no telling who's actually packing some golden Kryptonite heat. If the good guys have one thing on their side, though, it's that these rogue Kryptonians aren't used to their amazing brand new powers gifted to them by Yellow Sun. They're lashing out chaotically and seem to have no actual hierarchy. Hell, a couple of these goons could be doing anything, but instead they go out of their way to use their brand new heat vision to try and build a statue to the Phantom King. Jeez, you're out of the Phantom Zone for 2 days and you're already trying to make Earth look like the Phantom Zone? You're just like Americans on vacation, I tell ya. Luckily, Superman along with Supergirl Kara are able to make short work of these losers before eventually going to retake the Fortress of Solitude. Thankfully, they don't have to do that alone either, as by this point, Firestorm, probably one of DC's most underutilized heroes, has managed to crack the code on creating synthetic Kryptonite. Actually, come to think of it, when he makes it, I don't even think it's synthetic. I think it's actual real Kryptonite he is able to create alchemically, which is an amazing power. And hey, speaking of amazing powers that don't get used near enough, the real MVP of this story turns out to be the good Dr. Light, who is able to use her abilities to create red sunlight, depowering all the Kryptonian criminals and allowing them to be rounded up again. Of course, sending them back to the Phantom Zone is going to be difficult, as they went out of their way to destroy all the backup Phantom Zone generators first. Also, I guess Hiyoshi is just back to being her regular old Dr. Light self, as she lost her special multiversal suit that she got during the events of Dark Crisis. Now, if you're like me, you're probably thinking to yourself, damn, that was pretty easy, all things considered. I guess it's good that none of the major Kryptonian villains, the ones with names like Feora, Jaxer, and other heavy hitters, were seemingly not amongst the rank-and-file goons. Well, there's a good, or should I say bad, reason for that, and that is they already left planet Earth, and have been spending the last 2 days raising all sorts of hell on nearby planets with names that you may know, like Thanagar, Tamaran, and even Rand, meaning this problem is not only far from over, but that Superman and his family are going to have to head out into space to end this once and for all, not knowing which one of these last remaining Kryptonians might be hoarding the gold Kryptonite. And so that was Action Comics number 1079, everybody, and I'm happy to say as we enter the 10th part of this ongoing weekly Mark Waid series, this book still does a good job ratcheting up the tension as we begin to head into the home stretch. Again, we've seen Phantom Zone breakouts before, we've seen Superman battle rogue Kryptonians before, but I certainly definitely dig the setup and how Wade is choosing to tell this story. Likewise, I really enjoy getting to see characters like Firestorm and Dr. Light get so much love and so much spotlight here in a big Superman-centric story. I also really didn't expect the gold Kryptonite from the first issue to end up being such a major Chekhov's gun here in this brand new weekly series, but I gotta say, it's a fun trump card Wade's been keeping up his sleeve, and I can't wait to see how he ends up playing it. Personally, I don't think it was actually any of these evil rogue Kryptonians, and we're actually building up to a much bigger showdown between Superman and Mon-El. Again, in this issue, Clark keeps going out of his way to talk about how much he loves him and how much he's his brother, despite the fact that we're pretty damn sure he's killed a lot of people. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a very solid 8 out of 10, and it's nice to know this series has saved some of the very best for last.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.